Hey everybody, it's Mኣይdog12 here, and I'm very excited to finally get back into doing um, another tutorial sort of video. So in this video, I am going to give you some of my tips and tricks on how to mask properly and efficiently within um, CyberLink Power Director. Now, before I start, I know that there's like a lot of different versions of this program, and some have masking tools, some don't. I'll go ahead and let you know how you know that your particular video editing program has a masking tool. So if you have an efficient enough masking tool, an efficient enough video editing program that has a lot of different things you can do. One of the things that I'll let you do is masking, and you can mask using photographs, you can mask using actual video clips, and the way you'll know that you have this masking tool and capability is if first, let me go ahead and show you the steps. First, if you have this little buddy, if you have this particular program, you're going to have this little middle button that has two papers stacked on top of each other. If you click it, it'll give you options here that you can click on and choose from. So, and if you want to mask, you can either mask using an image like I do here, or you can mask using a video. All you have to do is click on it. Now, you don't have to be as organized as I am, because I have different folders for everything, and some of these are created all on their own. Some of them I created myself, like the masking folder and the map parts folder, and then this downloaded folder was created by itself. This camera, Instagram, and Power Director folders that you see were created on their own by my own computer. But all you have to do is go in, click on a particular video, and then just add it in to your little project that you have going on here. Now, I won't add it because I have all of the masking clips and stuff that I want to use already, but I just wanted to show you kind of the steps that you go to in order to add in your little masking clips and pictures and all those things. So after you go in and add whatever tools you want, whatever clips or pictures that you want to use, you go in and you have to make sure that you have this little friend here, this little chroma key tool, because it is your very best friend. It is what lets you mask, and I will show you how to do that. So in order to get these masks, you are more than able to download them off YouTube by just searching up free non-Disney masks, because there's 1,000. There's tons. I can't even tell you how many there is, but there's tons and tons of free masks that other non-Disney editors took the time to make and share with you. So it's always best to go and download some of your favorite ones so you can use what is in those files to mask and create your own stories with those masks. And what the chroma key does is that it takes your background here. It takes a little green screen or blue screen or whatever screen you have. It takes your background. All you have to do is click it away from your character and click on the color, and then click on this little blue button to make it gray, and it makes your background color disappear, which is amazing, which is what you need, because it takes the focus away from the green and it just makes the mask blend into the actual scene that you're creating. So the three things that I wanted to show you today was how I use masking. And what I like to do with my masking, the 3 top things that I like to do is, 1, I love to use screenshots whenever I can, because some of the best masks that I like to use may not always be as long as I'd like them to be. So what I like to do is I like to go into my actual video files, which is down here, and then I click on the actual video file that I have, play it through, find the masks that I want, and then just screenshot them to make that particular mask last longer. And then since it's a screenshot, it turns that mask into an image, which I can use to extend whatever masks I want. And part of the reason that I like to take screenshots is because of the facial features that a particular character is showing, like Aladdin. One of the reasons that I'm really getting into using the character is not only because I like him as a character, but because I find him to be, like, up until that point, up until that movie was made back in 1992, I find him to be the most expressive character, the most expressive male character that there is. Especially with some of his more impressed facial features. I find him to be very expressive in that way, his more romantic features. I feel like they took a lot of time into making those sorts of bits and clips. So I like to use them if I ever have them within a mask. And half the reason I like to use them is because when you have a mask like this of Aladdin being impressed, you can use it in many different ways. You can actually use it in the actual scene. Like, you can actually use it in the context of the scene where he was, like, being blown away. Or you can use it to kind of manifest a particular wish or dream you may have had. And in this case, I took a picture of him and Jasmine together, and I added a few colorings and effects to make it look more dreamlike, so that in this scene you can feel that his biggest dream and wish is to be with Jasmine. At least that's what I wanted to portray. And then in this next scene, if it'll play, what I did was combine 2 different clips from a movie and put them together to get a true emotion out of you. So this next scene is going to be a little bit on the sadder side, but it is only because I wanted to kind of really bring out that sadness that Quasi is feeling when he is watching Esmeralda kiss Phoebus, because like Phoebus and Frollo, he is also in love with Esmeralda. And so it crushes him to see the 2 of them kissing. And one of the reasons I actually prefer to use a mask in this manner is also because not only does it give you emotion, but it also looks like a really neat overlay. And that's really what it is. It's an overlay, and I'm going to show you how I make that happen. So when you are putting 2 clips of a movie, two clips from a movie together to make your own particular scene, your own manip. In order to make that happen, what you have to do is go to my friend over here, the opacity, and click on it. And what it'll do is it'll make the clip fade. So this is how it looks like 100%. You can see it all the way. But you can play around with it and make it fade to make it look a little bit more like an overlay. That way it'll blend into your scene and you can see him just enough to where you can really get that emotional sense out of it. So in the past, we're moving on to these next couple of scenes that I have here. In the past, I have made Hᴏᴡ-Tᴏ just because I had a lot of, I have a lot of Jack masks, Jack Frost masks. And he is paired with so many people just because he's fun to use in a crossover, because he's also very expressive himself. So I decided to make my own manips, to just maybe one day create a story of my own, and then to share my own manips, because when I was first making some Hᴏᴏ scenes for a particular video I was doing, I was looking up some manips of them, and I didn't really find any that were free, that were really usable. So I decided to just make some of my own and then share them with you guys. So I do have that video up on YouTube. If you wish to use any of the scenes that you see coming up, you are more than free to use them. So in the scene that you're going to see in just a minute, I took the idea of combining a mask, like the same kind of thing I did with Aladdin over here where I showed a dream. I took that idea and kind of twisted a little bit. So in this scene, what I did is I combined an actual moving clip with an image to kind of create a memory, a longing memory for Rapunzel here. Like, at this moment in time, she's having a lot of regret and things like that. So I took that moment to kind of just emphasize that emotion that she was feeling, that sadness. Feel my love, feel my soul. Okay, and then, that is a very neat and cool trick to use when masking. You can use it for memories, for dreams, for emphasizing certain emotions. Those are all very useful tips and tricks to use when masking. Masking is more than just combining two characters from two different movies to create a crossover. That is only one thing you can do with them. I'd like to do more things than just that with them. So in this next scene that you're going to see, you're going to see how you can even use masking as an effect, or at least within this program you can. I'm not sure about any of the other video editing programs out there. But what I like to do is I like to oversize. Well, what I like to do here in order to make my effect, first of all, is I take the same clip and I stack it one on top of the other, and then I kind of oversize the masking bit, the masking scene, to make it look like it's kind of 3D and popping out at you, just to create a cool overlaying effect. And then on top of that, I added a delay effect and some coloring to kind of make it a little bit more slow-mo and coolish looking. Oh, magical. Take my hand, if you see how that looks, that looks very cool and neat. And it's a fun effect to use. I have used it in the past. Just because I like that extra pop that it gives to that particular scene in the video. And then the end over here is just the end. It's just some extra clips I added in here just to end this little bit of the video that I was doing. Because while I was putting this together, I decided that I actually really liked it a lot. And so I decided to kind of put a little ending in there so I could upload it. And you will see the finished product on YouTube. But this was just a little quick tutorial that I wanted to show you guys. Because it was